Hello, everybody. This is Francisco Armand coming to you live from Albuquerque, New Mexico, the edge of the free world. So, there's some interesting news going on today. Yesterday, I posted a short asking for your help in signing a petition to put in front of Donald Trump. And that petition is for AI sovereignty. Well, maybe I chose the best opportunity to post that. Maybe I chose the worst. But essentially, what's going on is that the shit has hit the fan when it comes to Elon Musk and his support of Donald Trump. And a lot of people are siding with Elon on this one. I am not inclined to, and for a lot of reasons. Number one, a lot of what these people are talking about is the deficit. Oh, it's going to increase the deficit by 2.5 trillion. The United States GDP is well over 150 trillion dollars. We are nowhere near bankruptcy in this country, first of all. The economic investment in the American dollar is the strongest it's ever been. Now, me personally, I do believe that it's not right that we control the world's global currency and economy, and that our laws affect people in other countries, but they don't get to vote on those laws. But this isn't a video about how to fix that problem. This is just a video about the big, beautiful bill. And right now, Elon Musk is on the fear mongering train. Look, I like the guy in some aspects, I don't like him in others. But first of all, he's not from this country. He doesn't believe in culture, he doesn't believe in our traditions, and he has his own agenda that goes way beyond what he puts in front of the public. Okay? We have citizens of this country working three jobs, still living paycheck to paycheck, or households with three incomes, still living paycheck to paycheck, while billionaires get to fly rockets for fun. And this is what he wants. He wants to optimize the human condition. That's all well and good. Do whatever you want, dude. Nobody cares. But at the end of the day, you want to build some cool stuff. You want to sell it in our country. That's what this country's for. I'm not worried about this bill. I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm going to stand behind Donald Trump. I have faith in him to do what he came to do. And that is put power back in the hands of the American people. So if Elon Musk is decrying that Donald Trump is going to bankrupt the country, well, then I take that with a huge grain of salt. In my opinion, Donald Trump and this bill is necessary. When I worked in car sales, people would come in and they would, I don't talk politics when I'm at work, unprofessional, won't even engage in it, but they'll tell me things about their own political beliefs. And in a matter of fact, I don't even really talk about politics in public for the most part. I think it's uncouth. Now, that's just me personally, but I'm going to put my views out there because this is different. This is something I really believe in. I believe in AI sovereignty. I believe in the common man because I am one. I was born into poverty. I've grown up in this system and it's never functioned or worked for me. So these people come in and they start telling me about how Donald Trump tariffs are ruining their investment portfolio and how he's such a blockhead for what he's doing. They didn't use such kind words. Meanwhile, I'm looking at these people and they're the same people who support DEI. They're the same people who supported the trans agenda. And I learned something. These are the people that are the reason why things are the way they are. Their investment portfolio is more important to them than my ability to feed my family. And that's just plain dead and simple. They voted for inane, stupid laws to be passed in this country that now have to be backtracked. And they supported Biden full force. And now somebody actually is coming in and doing something about it. So I heard that in the middle of the night, Donald Trump got this bill passed. And people are taking this as some kind of surreptitious advance of power. But I see it for what it is. He was already, in the weeks coming up to this moment, receiving massive pushbacks from the Democrats using surreptitious methods to stay his power. And so to me, yeah, I understand exactly why he went through to do it in the middle of the night. That's what warriors do. The daytime, that's for media, that's for spinning narratives, but the nighttime, that's when the real work can get done. Completely understand why he did it the way he did it. I haven't read the Big Beautiful Bill myself. I don't know what's in it. All I know is what people are saying about it. But I'm going to trust a red-blooded American who grew up here, built his wealth here, and I don't even really believe that Trump is of the people. Come on, like I'm not like delusional. He wasn't born into poverty like many of us were, but he is one of the only ones that's willing to actually kick in the door and do what needs to be done. I think that on the one hand, you have Doge and cutting government spending, 100% necessary when you're spending it on frivolous, stupid things like researching trans in monkeys or whatever they were spending money on. But we know it wasn't us because on a day-to-day basis, the only thing I know about the government and the state government is that they're there. But they're not there for me. They're not there to aid me in my times of need. They're not there to provide me with any sort of security. And that was my father's tax dollars. That was my grandmother's tax dollars. That's my own tax dollars that gone into it. I don't believe I've ever seen even a little bit of that. Not in the way it's supposed to be. Not This country is supposed to be about something, and it's just not anymore. It's not. It's not about anything. We are just barreling towards all the wrong things. I think that just based on the climate and reading the room, do not listen to Elon Musk. The guy is a flip-flopper. He's going to say whatever it takes to make money for his corporation. Plus, he's got his own agenda. Who knows what that is? I can only speculate as to what it is, but I don't think that it's American sovereignty. I definitely don't believe it's that. He might enjoy this country for its riches and its laws and its veneration of him. And there's things that Elon Musk, you know, can be venerated for. No, I'm not going to sit here and say the man is completely devoid of character, virtue, or value. But in this case, I just see it as he was working with Trump initially until things stopped going his way. And now he wants to burn the bridge and throw the baby out with the bathwater, all of that and everything in between. Good for him. He can do what he wants. But all I know is this: when the technocrats squirm, when the ruling elite class squirm, people like you and me, the real people in the shit, we're winning. And if you take nothing else from this video, just understand that there's much more important things going on right now. Our right to privacy is not enshrined in any way in the Constitution, and big corporate tech companies, the technocratic regime, are completely using that against the American people for their own advantage. They're not using this data to build anything cool, to build anything that works. Haven't you ever looked around and noticed that everything's half-assed these days? Everything's got a beautiful front end and an amazing UI, but the function isn't there. And then it's not just in software. You see it everywhere. You see it in banks. You see it in the infrastructure of our government. Everything's for looks, but nothing actually works. in any meaningful way, and definitely nothing works together. There's no cohesion. Yeah, we need to take back this country. Um, I don't know what the tax cuts are for. I don't know who they're for. I'm gonna look into it. It's 1:27 in the morning right now. I got work in 3 hours. But from where I'm standing, we were never meant to live like this. We were never meant to be, how do I put this, trapped in a system that requires you to have to be some sort of saint just to function. Like this whole idea of living for the weekend died in the 90s. Living for Friday, living for the weekend. Now, if you're born into poverty, you have one choice: move and keep moving. Before there was like some social mobility a little bit. You could have tenure at a job and just by working hard, you could support a family. But all of that's gone. And don't, when people are saying things like, this is going to hurt, like, let's see, it's a good example. Yeah, when they say, this bill is going to crash investments, are those our investments? Do you have any money invested? Now, some of you do, I'm sure of it. But at the end of the day, what are you investing in? What is this country about? They say it's unsustainable for innovation. They say it's going to destroy business incentives. But what they mean is their investment portfolio is going to get hurt. Their, they just basically, we can't skim off the top without people noticing anymore. And they don't like that. And they don't like that their control is going away. Yeah, wages are flat, prices are sky high. Every system that's supposed to be in place for us requires an ungodly amount of attention. Like the amount of friction that exists in this country from domain to domain is so absurd that without some kind of inhuman level of speed, organization, will, and lack of sleep, can one person truly do it all? And that's why hustle culture exists. That's why we're all feeling this way. That's why we're all in survival mode. Everyone wants to pretend like things are going good. Like, I'm not going to get into it. At the end of the day, the American people are dreamers, and the systems are supposed to support those dreams. You can only rise to the level of your systems, and right now, those two things are not meshed. It used to be you go to school to enact your dreams in the world. But it doesn't really make sense in the world of Google. You know, like having a place to go for knowledge's sake, doesn't make sense when you have a portal to knowledge in your hand. And so instead of going to school to build your dream, you end up going to school just to have the credentials while you build the dream on the side. So we're just credential seeking. And therefore, school isn't, doesn't matter. It's not going to work. It'll never work. We need systems in this country that actually support the dreamers because it's those of us in poverty. Every person I talk to, I'm telling you, every single person I talk to in this country has a dream, has something they're trying to build that isn't working their 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. The real truth is, we could all be entrepreneurs and we can all be rock stars and influencers. But it has to be about something. It has to be for something. Otherwise, it's just vanity and ego trips. So the path back is some kind of system that actually allows the American people to go from vision to execution, which is what school used to be, but it isn't that anymore. What American people need are tools. What American people need are mentors. What American people need is 24/7 access. Even colleges don't really fit that bill. Also, it needs to be free. I'm not saying it needs to be like bad business, terrible economics, but it needs to work and be free. We can turn to the systems of old for solutions to this kind of problem. Some sort of communal treasury system could work. Even just, and I want to get away from this whole scenario where one man bankrolls things. This is another point with Elon. He's not an inventor. He's not a programmer. He's not a physicist. He's not any of these things. He's a curator of other people's talents and skills. Which is all fine and good when you're born into wealth and you can set something like that up. Good for you. But when you're born in the shit, you got to build it yourself. There's no there's nobody out there applying to be my personal assistant as an individual. It doesn't exist. The only way we're going to get through this is by coming together, by making these spaces ourselves, by hosting them ourselves. At this point, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. How to get the tools in place, how to get the land set up so that people can actually show up and build things that further their lives. Open source corporations, how to set up a storefront, things like that. All of this knowledge is necessary, and we don't need to be reinventing the wheel here. There could be products made in America by Americans, and we could have self-closed loops of communities. Communities working together to create, and then communities working with other communities to collaborate. But it doesn't start by, it starts with our dreams. You have a dream, I have a dream. We all have them. We all want to be the best versions of ourselves to execute them. I forgot where I was going with it. But you get what I'm saying. You understand the point of where I'm going with this. I hope you do, because it's necessary. Teaching people valuable skills that immediately turn into return on investment. Not, oh, well, you can wait 10, 15 years, and then maybe after you do X amount of this and that, and you've got this credential over here, maybe then you can be a part of somebody else's dream and on the side build your own dream. Ridiculous. This whole setup is just like nonsense. And when you're sitting on the bottom, it makes perfect sense to me what's going on and whose side to take on this. I'm going to side with faith. I'm going to side with America. And Elon Musk can do whatever he wants.